You're listening to the 12 Days of Crusademas 2023, brought to you by the Longbox Crusade.
Three loops of caging.
Not the most sing-song I've ever heard. Hello and welcome to the third day of the 12 Days of Crusademas for 2023, brought to you by the Longbox Crusade. The 12 Days of Crusademas is our gift to the podcast community celebrating the holiday season. We're celebrating this joyous season by sharing with you some comic book titles that may have gotten by you in the past. Each of the 12 Days of Crusademas will bring you a hidden gem of a comic book series brought to you either by one of our holly jolly co-hosts or one of our podcast celebrity guests until we get all the way to December 25th, Christmas Day. I'm your host for this third day of Crusademas. I am Jared Ulbrich, the Christmas Probe. Here are the three little drummer boys joining me for today's unwrapping. We will start with my brother from my actual mother. It is Jason, the Christmas Skull. How are you doing?
They told me rum-ba-bum-bum. It's Crusademas Day 3. I'm doing great, Jared. I'm just enjoying this holiday season. It seems to come earlier every year. I don't know. But boy, it really sneaks up on you. Glad to be here with you fellas and our guests, and I'm ready to talk some comic books.
Oh boy. Yep. We are kicking off. This is a day 3 of Crusademas, which means it's the holiday season. And the next thing you know, we're going to be doing like the countdown episode for New Year's. I love this time of the year. One of my favorite things about this time of the year, and I'm about to introduce another LBC host here, but my favorite thing this time of the year is the decorations. So I have to introduce Pat Sampson, DJ Christados Kringle, because he does all of our decorations. He never complains. He does it by himself. He never gets any help, and that's okay.
Exactly. You know what I decided to do because I don't get any help? You know what? I'm just going to embrace the spirit of Christmas. And I have been the last 2 episodes. I bought 12 presents. Every day I'm going to hand out a present to you guys, right? And it's in the theme of the 12 Days of Crusademas. So today is day 3. That means each one of you can have one of the 3 hens, French hens that I have, 3 of these French hens. Speaking about the French hens, do you know that French hens lay eggs that are different colors? Did you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
Do you know why?
I'm about to find out, though, because I just got one as a gift. Why is that, Pat?
Well, let me tell you, Jared. I'm glad you asked. It's because they have a certain je ne sais quoi. Can't wait for day 4, can you?
I think that's going to help make my Christmas joke I got coming up sound better. But all right, Delvin, the Christmas Web, welcome back to the third day, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jared. I got gifts for y'all for day 3 here. Christmas movies, as a matter of fact. But, the economy's bad. Inflation is kind of a MF, So, Jared, I got you 5 minutes of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation there.
All right, thank you.
Jason, I got you 7 minutes of Die Hard. And Pat, I got you 10 minutes of Gremlins. It's a classic. I hope you guys enjoy, those combined 22 minutes. It cost me $12,000.
Inflation has gone up this year. Goodness,
man. And you can only really watch them today and tomorrow too. So, I mean,
get it done. I got you. All right. Well, that is our Longbox team. And of course, I'll tell a Christmas oriented joke for you guys real quick, and then we'll introduce our guest. All right. So, Christmas can be a tough time of year, especially for those who need a little help. So my joke is about people who are trying to get some help, and they're at an addiction meeting. And there's 3 new people at the addiction meeting. And the people say, the regulars, they say, hey, welcome and introduce yourself. And the first guy says, hey, my name's Steve. And I've been addicted to cocaine now for about 3 years. I just want to shake it. It's kind of ruined my life. And they say, hey, Steve. And then the second guy, he says, hey, I'm Paul. And I've been addicted to alcohol now for 9 years. It's been ruining my life and I need to shake it. And they say, okay, Paul, this is a safe place. And the last guy, he looks kind of funny. They look at him because he's really small. And he says, hey, I'm a little gingerbread man. I'm a Christmas tree ornament, and I've been hooked on trees my entire life.
So go ahead and introduce that guest, Jared. Yeah.
Will do. Join us.
I'll admit that joke had a je ne sais quoi.
Oh, how do you do it? All right, I want to welcome our guest, who's put up with the whole stack of this for like almost 7-8 minutes now. And so I want to welcome, joining us around the fireplace here at the festive Longbox Crusade Studios, is Nick Jones from the Focused on Comics podcast. Welcome to the Crusade Studios, Nick.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're happy to have you here, man. He does a fun podcast. He's plugged into all sorts of things in the comic book realm. So we thought, hey, be a good guest to have on. And I see that he has something gift wrapped in a stocking tucked under his arm. What do you got there for us, Nick?
Well, today is 3 Lukes of Caging, which means we're unwrapping Luke Cage Hero for Hire number 9 from 1973, published by Marvel Comics. So first of all, I just want to say you're welcome. A little bit of history about the character, like the book itself. For me, it was like I read the Marvel Epic collections, and it's one of the ones I picked up, Luke Cage Volume 1. And in it has Hero for Hire 1 through 16, and then it changes to Power Man 17 through 23, and then later on it's Power Man and Iron Fist. So it's a crazy book from the 70s. I'm more of like a 90s comics kind of thing, which I know is a lot of travesty to most people, but hey.
90s comics are welcome here.
Absolutely.
Reading through it, this particular issue just stood out to me. And Sweet Christmas, it works out well with Luke's catchphrase anyway, see? It all comes together.
It all fit together.
It came out in the early 70s. Marvel, it's definitely a 70s book.
I read it on Marvel Unlimited, and I was like,
Mhm.
I think what did we say, 16 issues, right? Something like that?
Yeah, 16 issues
16.
for Hero for Hire, yep.
And then it became Power Man, and then it became Power Man and Iron Fist. So it was kind of neat to kind of see the history of how that came about.
I wholeheartedly agree. The thing I liked that like made this book jump out was how everybody was just like, wait, you're really going to fight Dr. Doom because he owes you money? And Luke Cage is like, yeah, he owes me money. I'm going to go get it.
I think we all have things to say about that. So yeah, definitely.
I will start with Delvin because he was the thumbs up guy when I said what the book was. So had you read Luke Cage before?
I don't know if I read that volume of Luke Cage. I've read plenty of Luke Cage before, New Avengers, maybe a run of Heroes for Hire. They'll bring it back. It goes like 6 issues, then they kill it. I've read a decent amount of Luke Cage in recent history, but I don't think I read this initial volume that you brought to the show.
What about you, Pat?
No, this is the first encounter with Luke Cage, this particular version, and I don't think I've read much of him in any other comic, so interesting for me.
Jason, how about yourself?
I laid my hands on an essential Power Man and Iron Fist collected edition. So I read some through there, but the Luke Cage Power Man by himself, I have not. This was my first one. That's about as far back as my Luke Cage reading goes.
Nice. How about yourself, Jared? What about you? Have you read a lot of Luke Cage?
Mostly like Delvin. I remember, mini series is here and there that kind of like, here's a little Hero for Hire that should keep you happy for the next 3 years. Coming out in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and so on. Same as Delvin. Some more recent stuff, but not this vintage original run. So this was definitely a cool experience. I'm glad you brought it.
The Silver Age type of stuff and early 70s stuff has never really been my thing. But I'm like, I should read some of that older stuff. Let me start with Luke Cage because I like street hero guys. So reading through it, it opens up with him fighting the Fantastic Four. You're like, why is Luke Cage fighting the Fantastic Four? He knocks out the thing and things like, oh no, he only did that because I wasn't ready. Finally, he's like, I want to talk to Reed Richards. He's like, I need a rocket. I'm going to Latveria because that fool owes me money. I'm going to get it. And Reed's like, wait, what? You think? Sure, go ahead. You could take our Fantastic car and go. And the thing is all bent out of shape. He's like, you're just going to let him take our car? Whatever. He gets to Latveria, punchy, fighty, all the way up to Doom. He gets roped into this weird revolution with robots or whatever. Gets to Doom, and Doom is like flabbergasted. He's like, wait, you're doing this because I owe you $200? Luke Cage is like, yep, you owe me money. You're going to give me my money. Let's go. And he beats the snot out of Doom. Doom's like, hey, you know what? No one's ever bested me. Here's your money. Goodbye. And that's it. I mean, reading it, all I could think of is the movie Payback with Mel Gibson, where everyone's like, he's doing this for $70,000. It's like the money keeps getting crazier and crazier. It's like, no, they owe me $70,000. I want my money. So this is a much smaller condensed version with superheroes involved. So to me, it was just like hysterical, like him fighting a bunch of people in Latveria and them all being like, he's doing this for $200. I don't understand.
I just realized we have something of a Crusademas theme. Because yesterday we had Van Plexico on with the Parker books, and Payback was a spinoff of the Parker series. So these are kind of connected.
In a very obscure way, absolutely.
That might be the best summary of an issue we've ever had. Crusademas, well done, sir. Back to you.
I'm going to change up. I'll start with Jason. What did you think of the book?
I loved it. I thought it was highly entertaining. You nailed it. I really thought of the movie Payback. How Luke Cage, he could have walked out of that Doom's castle with probably millions of dollars worth of stuff, but he just wanted his $200 that was owed to him. And how baller was it of Reed Richards? He spent more than $200 worth of fuel to get to Latveria to get his $200.
I was thinking the same thing.
And Reed was like, why not? We got a little fire here. Let me throw some gasoline on this and see what happens. I got to give a good shout out to Reed Richards as well. I thought that the robot revolution, to quote Nick Cage from Con Air, in any other comic book, this would be strange. But for some reason, it really felt like it belonged in this issue. When I get to my scoring, there's a bit of heart in there too, because Luke Cage, he definitely could have offed Doom or let the robots off Doom, but he has his code. And then Doom at the end of it has the temerity to say, maybe I can hire you for some more jobs. No, man. No, I had to come all over here to get my $200.
You're my block list, Doom.
Right. But you've got your couch cushions over here. And then final thought, and I'll pass it on to somebody else. Who knew that the secret to beating Doom's armor is to hit it hard and repeatedly? If
in the
only
same spot.
Someone would have figured that out. I yield the floor, sir.
And I believe you'll be yielding it to Delvin. What did you think?
I have to read this. I was reading this book. I'm already entertained. It's Luke Cage. There's 70s lingo going on and everything. There's a pretty good story. And then we get to the page where Luke Cage confronts Dr. Doom, and it is about the most out-of-pocket panel I have ever read in my life. Dr. Doom, when my men reported a crazy black man in the Fantastic Four's craft, I knew it had to be you. To which Luke Cage replies, where's my money, honey? That is the best panel I have ever read in my entire life. I have never been so thoroughly amused by a panel ever. Okay, review, rest of it. You know what? No, that actually sums it up. I could pass it off to someone else. I was so thoroughly entertained by that line alone because that is the absolute best of Luke Cage. Pass it to someone else. Brilliant.
Okay, Jared, what are your thoughts?
Largely echo Delvin. I don't know if I could get to his level of enthusiasm because it was so great, but same thoughts as Jason too. I was like, Reed Richards should have just been like, here's $200. I'm going to spend more on rocket fuel. But no, like everything was perfect because, the Reed we kind of know from today would like give him a lecture, like you should master your rage will become your master or whatever. But this Reed was like, no, this is going to be awesome. I got to see how this plays out.
He's like, he wanted to like send him over a candygram or something. Let's see what happens here.
This comic is just kind of everything I love. Now, I did approach it with some trepidation. That was for you, Pat.
Nice.
Because we all know late 60s, early 70s, it's a bunch of white dudes working at Marvel, writing black characters, and that can cause some issues and concerns. And so I went into this book thinking, okay, I hope they don't do anything and no, it was just, maybe the dialogue's a little clunky and corny or whatever, but it was like, nothing felt mean-spirited. It felt totally fun. It felt totally fresh. Like you said, Nick, I love street level heroes. And that's what a guy from the street would do, like you owe me $200. Problem one, I got to get to Latveria. Who do I know that could get me there? The FF? I kind of know them. Am I willing to fight them? Why not? All right, let's go. Problem two, I got hooked up with a robot army because, why not? Like, it's bat crazy. It's everything I like about like I love to watch B. Everybody knows I love to watch B movies and weird movies that are like only available on VHS because they're so crazy. And that's what this was. And I want to give a quick shout out to the artist, which I think was George Tuska. I don't have it in front of me.
It was.
He draws an awesome Luke Cage. The face is so good. And it's kind of funny because I think he probably practiced a lot because he knew he was going to get that character or something, because that is really good. Like, I think his thing was a little wonky, and some like his Doctor Doom was a little wonky. But that Luke Cage, man, every time he drew, I was like, dang, like the face, especially, like he's got a hold on that. I'm not besmirching George Tuska. He could draw me a thing or a Doctor Doom all day, and I'd happily hang it on my wall. But I just thought, just especially when he was drawing Luke Cage, it looked really good. So I'm sure we're all going to talk. Pat still has to go. He's got to talk about how bonkers this story was in such a fun way. But I wanted to take it to the art for just a second and say it was really cool and really unique. And I don't read a lot of books that are done by Tuska, but man, it looked good. Over to you, Pat, to bring it home.
All right. Well, I'm just really going to echo a lot of what everybody else has said on this one. Going into it, I didn't know what to expect and was pleasantly surprised at what it was. It's like when we get to a series that we're continuing to read and you just have that one fun one-off series where it's just, oh man, I can relax on this one, and just, it's that palate cleanser of a comic you wish you have every week or every month as you go through what you get from your long box or, from the store. It's good to have that palate cleanser, and man, this one was just really fun. And it sounds like later on, he gets a little more characterization done, but I like him like this. I think it was pretty fun to have. Reminds me of the movie Better Off Dead with that kid just going ever, where's my $2? But it said it's $200.
Johnny.
4 weeks. 20 papers, that's $2 plus tip.
Gee, Johnny, I don't have a dime. Sorry.
Didn't ask for a dime. $2.
Well, it's funny. See, my mom had to leave early to take my brother to school and my dad to work because...
$2. Cash.
I'm like,
Dr.
really?
Doom bought himself 10 pounds of trouble in a 5-pound sack for $200.
And then he finally pays him the money and didn't pay him anymore. It's like, come on, you just took out these guys for you. You could at least give them a tip or something. No, okay, here's your $200. But I don't know, would Luke Cage take it? Probably not. He'd probably just, no, here's my $200. That's fine. Or maybe could have took it, at least gave it a little bit back to Richards for the gas money or something,
Oh, Richard got his money's worth.
He did.
As soon as Luke came in and was like, can I borrow this, plane to fly over to Liberia to mess with Doom? He was like, yeah.
Here's a car
man,
keys.
absolutely.
Oh, man. It was fun. And I, again, didn't know what to expect. And just everything else everybody else said, the lingo and all that, it is of its time. But even then, I think it was pretty fun to hear.
Before I pass it back to Nick for ratings, it just occurred to me too, one other thing. Even though it was zany and out there and very 70s, having watched the Netflix show, I could see the connections, which means the Netflix show paid respect to the original roots. I saw the connections between like the prison, how he did his business and how he carried himself still felt right. And I thought that was neat to see at what 40-year leap forward, and to still see the seeds. And I thought gave me a little more respect for the Netflix show, because I thought they clearly did a little homework.
Let me add one more thing. Did anybody else, as you're reading through this, think that it was a Doombot? I'm like, oh, this is going to be a Doombot.
I considered it too, yeah.
But so I don't know if it still could have been, I guess, but I'm like, oh, he's going to, fight Doom, and you're going to find out it's just a Doombot, whatever.
Wasn't that a Hanson song?
Doombot, yeah. Doombot. Doombot.
If only I knew someone that had a Hanson t-shirt.
Oh, I could maybe find somebody that does.
Hey, Nick, Pat has a Hanson t-shirt. Anyway.
There's the Leave Studio button right there. All right. So I'm glad everybody enjoyed it, but now let's get some ratings. So Now it's time to rate your interest in the series using the official Crusademas candy cane scale. On a scale of 1 to 12 candy canes, 12 being extremely interested and 1 being no interest at all, how many candy canes would you rate your interest in pursuing more issues of this title? We'll start with Delvin. What do you think?
12. Seriously, I'm not joking. I am not joking. I have never been so amused because it really does show just what a bad Cage is. And it's like, I don't have time for your nonsense. I don't care if you're a king. I did a job for you. Pay me my money. And you could strip that and say, well, they were maybe doing like blaxploitation stuff. I'm like, maybe not. But that is literally what a strong character would do. And that is what I would expect Luke Cage to do today if he were still doing hero for hire work. It's like, you're not going to disrespect me. I will not be disrespected. And then to me, just made him a bad. And I saw it and I was just so amused that he could take the king of Latveria, the ruler of Latveria, and literally just like, give me my money. That alone. But like, if he had that type of attitude where he could storm the doors of the Fantastic Four and like, you don't even know me, but I want a favor. And then go face to face with Dr. Doom, man, that's books that I want to read. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. 12.
Good to hear. Pat, how about you?
I'm going to be with Delvin just a little under that with an 11. If I find this out in the boxes now, I'm definitely going to pull these just for the fun. Like I said, the palate cleansing that these are and the fun that I had.
Good to know. How about you, Jared?
I'm going to join Delvin with the 12. It was bonkers fun. There's no way I'm passing these up. And it's 16 issues. It's like a fairly conquerable run, right? Like it's a 16 issue investment if you want that first initial run. So why not, right? I would totally hunt these down. Great read, good art, laughed out loud. It felt good to read it. It was a comic that felt good to read.
Good. That's what I like to hear. How about you, Jason? You with the rest of these guys on this one?
Well, yeah, I do the humor, heart, spectacle, and art. The humor, we've talked about it. It's a 3, no question. Enough said. Heart, we touched on that as well. Really, you boil it down. This is the essence of Luke Cage right here. We got to see it all on display in this one issue. 3 for that as well. Spectacle. Did we mention that he fights robots and then Doom? And it's just crazy.
He fights everything. He fights a door. He fights
Fantastic
anything.
Four. The spectacle is just ridiculously good, and that's a 3. In art, it's not masterful art, but it's really good. It's really good. Some of the panels look a little clunky, but Jared, I think he summed it up best. Luke Cage looks good. The panels where Doom and Luke are going toe to toe, well laid out. So that's an 11 for me. And of course, when you bring your enthusiasm in your A game, you get an extra candy cane. So I'm going to jump on board the 12 train.
I feel good about this.
You should. You brought a winner.
Yeah.
Man.
So
fantastic.
The way the previous issue ends is when Luke Cage goes to the Latvian embassy and he's told that Doom closed the embassy 5 minutes ago and bounced. And Luke flips out, rips off his shirt, and is screaming at Doom, screaming to the heavens. And he is flipping out because he's like, I will not rest until I get my money. And the good part about the series as a whole is most of the stories are kind of one-offs because he's just a hero for hire guy. So it's got that underlying, he escaped from Seagate prison. People might know that, he is who he is or whatever. But a lot of it is okay, now he's going to do this job and he's going to do that job. So even if you're saying, Jared, trying to get the whole run, even if you get them piecemeal, you'll still be able to be okay, I can read this and still kind of know what's going on with everything. The series as a whole is a fun read. I'm not going to lie.
It's no Lion and the Eagle, but it was a good.
What can be? Man, what fun. There's so much more we could say. Dude was so focused on his $200, he teamed up with an alien and a robot army, and he was like, whatever. That wasn't even, he was like, whatever. He teamed up with an alien and a robot army.
But then the alien was going to take out Doom. He's like, whoa. He's like, this dude owes me money regardless of that. But you can't kill him because I don't care who you are. You're still not letting you kill anybody. So
that's a line that he won't cross. That's awesome.
It's so good. Oh, so good. Great book. And I appreciate it, Nick. And that will wrap up day 3 of the 12 Days of Crusademas. We'd love to hear from you if you're familiar with any of the comics that we cover here on the show, or if you give one of our recommendations a try. Let us know what you think about it, man. If you go out there and read this Luke Cage book, Hero for Hire, let us know what you think. See, did you like it as much as we did? And if not, what's wrong with you? All right, you can get in touch with us and tell us what you thought. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's all at Longbox Crusade. You can email us at contact@longboxcrusade.com, or of course, you can call us at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX. Get your parents' permission to call. Go ahead and sing.
Pick up the phone.
$5.99 for the first minute, $2.99 each additional minute. That's not true. It's free to call. And if you're loving Crusademas and didn't get a chance to listen last year, or you just want to hear more Crusademas, well, there's a lot of it. You scroll far enough back in our feed, you'll find episodes from Crusademas past of 2022, 2021, and 2020. Oh, and also 2019 and 2018. And we actually did it in 2017 as well. So there's a lot of Crusademas out there to find.
That does sound like a lot of Crusademas. Thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to come back tomorrow to find out what the next gift is from under the tree in the festively decorated Longbox Crusade studios. Thanks for having me, fellas. I hope you all have a great holiday season. And until next time, DJ Cristados, play me a Christmas jam.
Wickedy, 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 whack.
All songs, song clips, and characters discussed are copyright of their respective copyright holders, and no infringement is intended. We are just fans that like to share our love of comics.